What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one we got some big news as Michigan and Sherrone Moore is expected to hire a big time name as their next defensive coordinator. Also got some news as well on the next defensive line coach, next linebackers coach, and also Michigan retaining Steve Clinkscale. We're also going to be talking about Michigan football spring game date announced and much more. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so Michigan and Sherrone Moore is getting a big time name as their next defensive coordinator, as it came out this morning in multiple reports. First reported by Adam Schefter that Michigan is planning to hire former Giants defensive coordinator Wink Martindale as its next defensive coordinator. Now the deal is still being finalized, but it is not expected to be an issue, and obviously we talked about it in our last video. Mainly was down to the Kansas City Chiefs defensive line coach Joe Cullen or the New York Giants defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. Now Martindale had an interview with Sherrone Moore yesterday, and it appeared that that interview went really good. Now I'm sure there's going to be some mixed emotions about this hire. I'm going to go over everything and explain why this is a good first hire for Sherrone Moore. But yesterday, Martindale arrived in Ann Arbor early Thursday afternoon. Now he not only interviewed with Sherrone Moore, but he also got to talk to other coaches and also sat down with some Michigan players on the defensive side. And according to Sam Webb of the Michigan Insider, there was a favorable vibe that was established with many of Michigan's top defensive players when they all sat down together to watch film of Michigan's victory over Ohio State this past season. So it appears that the players may like Martindale, which is definitely very, very huge. As Sherrone Moore, he needed to get a big time hire, not only to keep the Baltimore Ravens type of defense going here at Michigan, but also to keep the very talented defensive players that we have on the roster, as they have lost a ton of their coaches, especially the defensive line group with Mike Elston going to the Chargers now. Now listen, Martindale, he isn't really known as a recruiter, probably won't be that best of a recruiter, but one thing to mention, Jesse Minter, Mike McDonald, they weren't really known as great recruiters either, and a lot of the good recruiters that Michigan had, it was their defensive line coach Mike Elston, staffers like Dylan Ronnie, also other assistants like Steve Clinkscale. So it was the assistants on the team and on the coaching staff that were the good recruiters. So definitely don't expect Wink Martindale to be a good recruiter. Expect the assistants to do that. But this is also a big time hire because Martindale, he basically started the Baltimore Ravens style of defense. Martindale has a ton of experience. He was the defensive coordinator actually for Jack Harbaugh at Western Kentucky, also the inside linebackers coach. He was there from 2000 to 2003. Other NFL stops were the Oakland Raiders from 2004 to 2008, Denver Broncos from 2009 to 2010, and he also spent 2012 to 2021 with John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens, and ran as the defensive coordinator from 2018 to 2021. Before we continue this video, I did want to talk about today's sponsor, Aura. Listen guys, now more than ever, it is easy for data brokers to get a hold of your personal info and sell your information to scammers, spammers, and anyone else who may want to target you. And I don't know about you guys, but it makes me uncomfortable knowing they can search the web and even use certain websites or your social media to get your full name, email, home address, health records, everything. That's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests for me. Aura cleans up my information, and that helps reduce the amount of spam I get. It also protects me from hackers who could use this info to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other sensitive information. Aura also does so much more to protect me from online threats I can't see. Now listen, it's really easy to set up, so I don't have to download several different apps to get things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more. I also get everything at one affordable price. Now you may already have one or two of these tools already, but not having Aura is like locking the front door and leaving the back door wide open. Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping me safe so I can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. Listen guys, I value my privacy and I value yours as well. Lucky for you guys, you can go to aura.com/Michigan Sports Talk to start your 2-week free trial. You can also find the link in the description below, so make sure to take advantage of this offer by clicking that link in the description to get your 2-week free trial. Trust me, you won't only be doing yourself a favor, but you'll also be supporting the channel as well. But with that, thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video, and let's get right back into it. Alright, so continuing on here, now Martindale is similar in terminology, but he is a little bit different in philosophy from McDonald and Minner. He tends to use 5 to 6 man pressures with 1 or 0 behind it as answers. However, he may adapt his system to the collegiate game. I'm sure that was probably talked about during the interview as well, but he is a great-minded defensive coordinator for sure. The players seem to love him, which is huge. Martindale can also run 5-1-5 look, a 4-2-5 look, and others. So, but the main thing, the adjustments for the players should not be as dramatic, which is pretty big. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this hire for Michigan. Now, I did want to talk about the linebackers coach as well. As Michigan, they do need a full-time linebackers coach still. Now, per Giants Wire, it came out that the former Giants outside linebackers coach Drew Wilkins, who had a key role on Wink Martindale's staff, has been requested for high-level college football interviews. Many people think that he may follow Martindale to Michigan. Now, Wilkins also spent 12 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens as well before his time with the Giants, so they have spent a lot of time together, as Martindale was also with the Ravens during a lot of that time. And then as far as the defensive line coach goes, there are a couple of names according to Sam Webb of the Michigan Insider. One name that's generating the most buzz currently is the Wisconsin defensive line coach Greg Scruggs. It was his first year at Wisconsin last year, and before that he was the assistant defensive line coach for the New York Jets. Now, he's supposed to be a strong recruiter, which is exactly what Michigan needs. They need a good defensive line coach like Mike Elston and a good recruiter like Mike Elston was. And another name to mention as well is the Illinois co-defensive coordinator / defensive line coach Terrence Jamison. He's actually the younger brother of former Michigan defensive end Tim Jamison. Right now, Terrence Jamison is considered by many coaches to be one of the best defensive line technicians in the country. So we'll see where Sherrone Moore goes with their next defensive line coach. Also worth mentioning, I'm sure you guys have already heard about this, but Steve Clinkscale, he is expected to stay at Michigan, which is huge news. Now, we talked about his buyout being the issue, and the Chargers, it seemed, didn't have the money to pay him to come to the Chargers. So it's definitely huge to keep Clinkscale on the staff, and he will more than likely remain as the co-defensive coordinator and defensive backs coach. So finally, the dust is settling down for Sherrone Moore and the Michigan coaching staff. Let me know your guys' thoughts on all of that. And I also wanted to talk about Michigan football announcing the date of their 2024 spring game, as it will kick off at noon on Saturday, April 20th. This event is supposed to be a free event for fans and media to get their first glimpse at the 2024 football team, so it'll be free for admission. Obviously be Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore's first spring game with the Michigan football team as their head coach. We also got news yesterday as well that the University of Michigan athletic director Wood Manuel has been appointed to the college football playoff chairman position. Manuel replaces NC State athletic director Boo Corrigan. So pretty interesting news there. I know Michigan fans are not pleased with their athletic director Ward Manuel right now, as he has lost a lot of good coaches, not only this season but in the past as well. So this will obviously mean that Manuel will lead the weekly meetings this fall for the college football playoff selection committee and will be the prominent voice that speaks on the record about the CFP's selection process each week. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that as well. And then real quick here, Michigan has officially announced the additions of some transfers, as the Northwestern offensive lineman Josh Preby and the Maryland transfer linebacker Jashawn Barham will officially be on the team next season. There are a couple of huge additions for this Wolverines team. I also expect Michigan to hit the portal again when it opens back up for all players in the spring, which opens back up in April. But both of these guys, Josh Preby and Jashawn Barham, will definitely be competing for starting roles. Now, obviously, Michigan had linebackers Junior Colson and Michael Barrett these past couple seasons here, but now Michigan has Ernest Hausman and Jashawn Barham, which is not bad of a linebacker duo, coming off of potentially one of the best linebacker duos to do it here at Michigan. We have some big news here today for Michigan. Michigan retaining Steve Clinkscale, it seems. We also got a big name out of Wink Martindale, expected to become Michigan's next defensive coordinator. Also potentially bringing in Drew Wilkins as a linebackers coach here at Michigan. And now Michigan, they need to focus on the defensive line coach, bring in a good defensive line coach that can not only coach but also is a good recruiter. But with that, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. But other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.